There are about 36 Uber XL vehicles on the queue right now. I'm in the bum lot, if you will, the TNC lot at the airport. You see quite a few drivers hanging out. Somebody just got a call and they're heading to the terminals. I booked an Uber XL short trip earlier today. I was at the airport for a couple of hours, got the short trip notification, and the short trip originated from outside the airport. So I didn't actually go to pick up a passenger inside the terminal. It came from a hotel nearby, and they were taking a short trip to a restaurant nearby. I decided to take the trip as an example for this video because that is one of the more important features of the short trip notification. It's one of the reasons it was invented by Uber, to encourage drivers that were in the airport queue to actually leave the airport queue and pick up a passenger from a nearby location. Sometimes it's very difficult to get a person to get picked up when you're booking a ride within 2 miles of the airport, because all the drivers are waiting for the long trips from the TNC lot, and nobody wants to go there and take somebody on a trip that's going to earn them $5 as a minimum fare Uber XL ride. I took the ride. It was about $4.81 or something like that. And I completed the trip, ended it, turned off the Uber app, went and got a bite to eat and went home for a while, a couple of hours. I have 12 hours to return to the airport to book another ride. So I've come back to the TNC lot to make this video, and also I'm going to turn on my app and hopefully try to get a ride within just a couple of minutes, maybe 10 to 20 minutes, to get an Uber XL ride, one that'll pay a little bit better than the earlier ride today. My guess is a lot of these drivers that work the TNC lot are not real familiar with the short trip notification or exactly how it works or how to use it to their advantage. A lot of the guys right now are playing dominoes, and I'd imagine they've been here for an hour, 2, 3 hours, just waiting for a single request to come in, while I've been at home having dinner and watching a little YouTube and some TV. And now I'm back to work again, and I'm going to take advantage of the short trip notification, the way it was designed, to book a ride quickly and get a ride that pays a little bit better than the short trip did originally. Let's see if we have information on. It says I'm offline. I'm going to go ahead and go online. Let's see if I can zoom in here a little bit. All right. When I hit go, I might get a trip within a few seconds or 10 or 20 minutes. We'll see. Time is 9:49 p.m. and we've got to go online and see what position I am in the queue. And you can see all the drivers sitting around, so there's quite a few people in the queue. I'm open to trips, and I'm in the first 1 through 5 position. So I'm right at the front of the queue again, which is what I expected, because I'd been away for a couple of hours, and my position in the queue had advanced all the way to the front. So I'll leave this running here in the foreground, and we'll see how long it takes to get a ride. It's still 9:49 p.m. So hopefully it'll take about less than 10 minutes. Seemed to be a pretty good crowd over by the airport still. Although I haven't seen too many planes coming in, so it might be a bit of a delay. But we'll see how long it takes. I have a couple of other videos that I posted recently about the Uber X queue and how quickly I was able to book a second trip with the short trip notification on the Uber X queue. That moves along pretty quickly. The XL queue is quite a bit slower. If you wait in Uber X, you can get a ride within usually under an hour to an hour and a half. The XL queue takes between 4 to 6 hours on average to get a ride request. So being able to skip ahead of 50 other cars is a pretty good advantage when you get this short trip request. Looks like there's a plane landing in just a couple minutes on final approach. Hopefully the demand will pick up and I'll be on my way. When I get a request, I'm going to go ahead and accept the first request I get. The notification doesn't give you the option to let a call go to the next driver and, wait out. If I get a short request, that's what I'm going to take. If I get a long or average request, I'll take that as well, because I can't take the second request. I can only, you book the first one, otherwise the notification goes away and you miss out on the benefit of having that short trip notification attached to your account. Another important strategy is, after you book that ride, the first ride, the short trip, I suggest you go offline immediately and turn off the app. In case you happen to drive past the airport on your way home, for instance, you don't want to enter the TNC geofenced area and then have it activate that notification and then immediately drive through the TNC lot or the area past the airport and end up losing that notification attached to your account, because as soon as you leave the geofenced area, that notification disappears. It's no longer active. So you activate it by getting into the airport queue, and then you better take the trip. Otherwise, if you leave the TNC lot or the airport's queue, then that notification goes away, and again, you get no benefit from it. So it's important that you handle that notification carefully. I've had them work well, and I've had them fail. Like I said, I made those mistakes and had the notifications simply went away. Another issue you might have with the notification is, when you book the short trip, your pickup may be at the airport, for instance at one of the terminals, and your drop-off might also be inside the airport property. I've had a few trips like that, where I pick somebody up at Terminal 1 and drive them to the rental car center, which is inside the property. You have to loop around and come back into the airport. And as soon as I drop that passenger off, I've completed the short trip. The problem is, as soon as I end the trip, my short trip notification has been activated already because I'm on airport property. I can't turn it off and drive away and come back later because it's already been activated. So what you need to do is drive off the airport property into the geofenced area, don't leave the geofenced area, and then wait for your next request, which hopefully will come shortly because you'll have saved your original position in the queue, and that should be available for you to take advantage of for your next trip. My favorite use of these is overnight. When I'm running out of time on the 12-hour limit, if I catch a short trip notification near the end of my 12 hours online time, I'll go ahead and book that ride, take it, drop off the passenger, turn off the app, and then I can go home and spend the 6 hours offline time at home, get a good night's sleep, and then return to the airport the next morning. And as soon as I turn the app back on, once I'm in the geofence area, I'm back at the front of the queue, and I'll get the very first ride that's available will come right to me. That's my favorite use of the short trip notification. The second best one is the one I'm doing now, where I picked up a ride outside of the airport rather early in my time waiting at the airport for a request. Pick up those folks and dropped them off, went offline, and then returned back to the airport whenever I feel like coming back within the next 12 hours. Again, to take advantage of being placed in the front of the queue. I've been online about 6 minutes now. I figure another 5 or so ought to get me a ride. So we'll see. If I were to wait for 50 plus riders, or drivers rather, I wouldn't get a call. Let's see, it's almost 10 p.m. I wouldn't get a call probably till 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning for all those other drivers to clear out of the queue before me. But right now I'm number 1 on the queue in front of all of these other drivers. So I'll take this last trip. And if it also happens to be a short trip, I'm going to go ahead and end my evening tonight, return to the airport in the morning, and go right back to the front of the queue as well if I get another short trip notification. And if I get a long trip, I'll just go ahead and take that and hopefully make some decent money on the trip and call it a night. Got a couple of more planes landing, so hopefully there's a few customers for us. Looks like probably the TNC lot's a little bit more than half full. I'd say there's probably 280 cars here or so. Maybe just under. Although they are coming and going pretty regularly, so that's good. See a lot of UberX cars heading out. A lot of Lyft cars in the lot. A few months ago, there were very few Lyft cars in the lot. I was actually taking advantage of some long trips from the TNC lot. They had a 45 plus minute notification with Lyft, and there were like nobody here waiting for rides. So I just let all the short trips bounce, and then when I got a long trip, just pick that up, go out and make a few bucks on a long trip for the evening. And I could get 2 or 3 of those a night sometimes on a busy evening with no drivers around. Seems like a lot of Lyft drivers have started showing up and, you know, filling up the lot again. So I'm not catching those long trips anymore this time of year. I may try it again next year. See if I can make a few bucks. I'll be posting this video unedited. I don't currently have any good software for trimming these down, so apologize for it being a little long. Hopefully the information will be useful to some people that drive UberXL. You can take advantage of these short trip notifications on any class. I'd imagine I've booked a few on UberX as well. I think I've even done a few Uber pool rides that I picked up with the short trip notification. One thing I have noticed is you can't cross-platform. For instance, I booked an UberX short trip, completed the trip, turned off my app, switched over to UberXL, and then returned to the airport, and it did not put me in the front of the UberXL queue. But when I toggled on UberX, I got a call immediately. So I was at the front of the X queue, but not the XL queue. Thought that might be a neat little shortcut to take advantage of, but that is not available. Still showing I'm at the front of the queue, about 10 minutes in. We've got a little lunch truck on the far side of the tent over there. People to get coffee or snacks, soft drinks. And restrooms in the back of the lot. That part of the lot doesn't smell too good, so I don't stay too close to it. Looks like the lot is emptying out a bit. I guess the Uber X queue is moving along at a pretty good clip. Should be getting a request any minute. Is my first request. I'm gonna go ahead and take that. It's been 13 minutes. Pick up at the airport, Terminal 3 and 4. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video now. Go pick up my passengers, and I'll write a little update to this later. Thanks for watching.